5 powerful mindset shifts that can actually help you get a long-lasting weight loss result. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. This is Jean here from Authentic Energy. All right, so today we have a very special topic to help those of you who have been, inquiring about weight loss and different methods and, how to stay motivated. I know that, weight loss is such a big topic that we can talk about for like hours and hours and days, right? But like what I have realized is that it's actually very important for like everyone to realize that, in order to get a long-lasting, sustainable and healthy weight loss result, you actually do need to focus on quite a few things mentally and emotionally, rather than just like, solely relying on the certain methods and how to. People always say that 9 out of 10 people that try to lose weight fail. Okay, but I don't want you guys to be the 9 people out of 10 people that fail. I want you guys to really have like a happy, long-lasting, weight loss result that, you can actually feel happy and healthy about, right? So please take notes for today's video, and also please stay till the end, because the last mindset shift is actually the most important one. I'm gonna save the best for last. Okay, so don't go anywhere. Okay, now mindset shift number 1. Okay, this one's very important. Listen to this very carefully. You have to actually change your motivational emotion. Now you're like, oh, you got me lost there. What is motivational emotion? Okay, so you decide to give yourself a program, or like go on a program to lose weight, right? There's gotta be some kind of motivation, a drive behind it, right? Like, so what is your why? Why do you want to lose weight? Is it for like a summer event? Is it for a wedding? Is it for you to actually feel healthy? Or is it because someone made a comment about your body? Or maybe you've gone through some kind of like lifestyle change, and now you want to like basically feel better, right? So whatever your motivation is, right? And I understand that for everyone the motivation is different, and there's always an emotion behind your motivation. Okay, so this is where you really have to like dig deep and really ask yourself, reflect on how you're feeling about your intention coming into this like weight loss program. How are you feeling coming into this like this journey, this weight management journey, right? Is your motivation there purely because you are panicking about not looking good enough? Or is it like based on the fear, right? So this is where I want you to differentiate. Where is your motivation coming from? Is it coming from like, like I mentioned, right? A lot of times our motivation comes from fear, loss, insecurities, shame, what else? Oh, scarcity as well, right? So it's actually important for you to differentiate. If you're like, I'm doing this because I just got dumped by my boyfriend, so I feel really down by myself. I feel like I'm not pretty enough for him. I want a revenge body. So this is very obvious, like what is the emotion behind your motivation? Maybe like feeling resentful, feeling like, you're not good enough. So the vibration of the emotion is quite low, right? So for those people that come into the weight loss program with a very low vibration meaning that you're feeling fearful, you're feeling not enough, you're feeling ashamed, right? And also, you're panicking, you are doing like a panic weight loss thing because something is coming up. Very often, this kind of like, low vibrational emotions can actually hinder us from actually succeeding. They can really hinder us from carrying on this journey, right? And very often what happens is, right, so I've explained this in one of my previous videos about why a lot of times we don't lose the weight and our body keeps accumulating like belly fat and weight around our waist region is actually due to stress. So like while we're trying to lose weight, but we're still feeling very stressed out about like, feeling not good enough, or feeling like, I have to achieve this goal in a certain time, you can imagine your stress level, your stress hormone in your body goes up. And that in a way is not helping you, because the higher your stress hormone is, the higher your stress level is in your body, the higher chance that your body is actually accumulating and trying to keep the body fat, trying to keep the weight, right? So In this process, I've spoken about this in many of my other videos. When I do coaching, I'm very big on emphasizing on taking the rest and stress management, right? Because if your stress is really high while you're doing like crazy amount of exercise, or you're trying to like really hard to diet, you may not see the result, because your stress hormones, your stress level is there to keep your weight, to keep your body fat. Okay, so this is why it's very important for me to mention that I want you guys to shift your emotions, your motivational emotions, from fear, panic, and scarcity or shame into love. Okay, the higher emotions, the higher emotional vibrations are love, joy, and peace. So can you find a way for you to transform that emotion into self-loving? Okay, into appreciating, self-appreciating, and also find a way to reframe your intention of coming into this whole weight loss journey. Okay, why are you doing this? And how you are doing this to help yourself feel better. Like feel better meaning that, you want to love yourself more, you want to feel more joyful, you want to feel more peaceful in your body and mind, so that you no longer have to care about what other people think of you. So you no longer have to worry about like, what kind of food should I not eat, should I eat, and what do people say about my body, right? So like you're doing this weight loss thing as a healthy journey for yourself, as a way to self-love, as a way to self-care, right? So shift your emotion from fear and panic into the love, okay, into the loving emotion. Okay, so this is the first one that's so important. Everybody needs to know this, okay? Now, the second mindset shift that's very important is focus on non-scale victories. Okay, non-scale based victories, meaning that, you can ditch the scale, okay, or, like try not to have an obsessive relationship with the scale where you weighing every day, or you're weighing too often, and you rely too much on the number on the scale to determine like whether if you're successful or not, whether if you're achieving something or not. And I've actually made a video previously, you can check it out here, talking about how you can completely ditch the scale, but you can still keep track and actually gauge the progress of your weight management journey. You can totally do that. Okay, there's several ways to do it that can actually basically help you, have a stress-free and scale-free journey, right? So there are a lot of things that you can actually experience that the scale doesn't show you when you are on a weight management journey. Things like, you may actually feel a lot more energetic. You may have better sleep, okay? You may actually run faster. Your athletic performance might be a lot better, right? And your flexibility may be better, and your appetite is better. You no longer have those random cravings. These are just some of the examples of the positive health changes that you can experience on the weight loss journey that the scale doesn't tell you. Right? And it is actually, in my opinion, very detrimental if you only focus on the scale changes to know, how you're doing, right? Because your weight can fluctuate, right? Depending on what's happening in your body. And I also explained in that video as well. Go check it out if you haven't seen it, right? And, like if your weight goes up the next day, you're like, oh no, what have I done? I'm a loser. And maybe in a few days, if you see the weight comes down, then you're like, yay! Like seriously, don't let the scale number dictate how you feel. Don't let the scale dictate, your self-worth, right? You're so much more than that. So this is where I want you guys to really shift your focus away from just focusing on the scale number, okay? Focus on your overall like internal health change. Focus on your overall like positive health change that you can actually observe, like, and you can actually feel physically. Keep a diary of, all the changes that you're experiencing, okay? Now, the third mindset shift that I highly recommend you guys to try is to change your relationship with the food. Okay, this is very, very important because a lot of people see food as enemy. Right? And a lot of people see food as something that just keeps piling on calories and making you fat. But no, not all the foods are the same, right? There are foods that are, highly processed and very, very unhealthy. So if you consume too much of those food, they don't really do much to your body apart from, giving your body all the empty calories, right? But also there are foods out there that are more nutritious, more wholesome, right? And they can actually give your body the nutrition, the nutrients nutrients that your body needs in order for your body cells to become healthier. And you know what happens when your body becomes healthier, right? The weight, gets shedded off naturally, right? So this is where I want you guys to really look at food as something that has multiple layers. Okay, so firstly, look at food as, okay, food is something that gives your body fuel, okay, gives you energy, and food is something that, basically provides nutrients for your body too. And not just that, not just about calories and nutrients, but also food can also be, celebrations. Food can be culture. Food can be family, okay? Food can be love and bonding, social connections. So I want you guys to really embrace food as like a multifaceted kind of like this wonderful thing, right? That brings joy to your life. Like in my culture, in my Chinese culture, like basic Chinese people live for food, right? We really love eating. So, but also whilst, we are embracing the joy of eating, we also have to be aware of like how much of certain food that, we can take, and what kind of food that we can take in moderation, right? Everything in moderation, and what kind of food we should eat more so that, they're more beneficial for our body, right? So in this whole weight loss journey, it is very important for everyone to have that balanced mindset around food rather than like being scared and trying to stay away from all kinds of food, or like being too obsessive with like, cutting out calories, cutting out certain food and only allowing you certain calories in a day, or only allowing you like certain very like a restrictive way of eating, right? Because if you do that, for a while, you're not gonna enjoy it. Maybe you do it for a few days. Yes, okay, I can discipline myself, restrict myself for a few days. But if you do it for a while, usually a weight loss journey takes about a couple months, right? At least, okay, 2-3 months at least. So imagine doing such a restrictive diet for this few months. You're not going to be happy, and you're not going to carry on, right? And it's not going to be sustainable, and you won't get a result. So it's very important for you to have like a very balanced and a very healthy relationship with food, understanding that, which kind of food that you can, of course, indulge in, but, in moderation, but also focus on which type of food is more nutritious and also, more beneficial for your body. Okay, so this is mindset shift number 3. Okay, so mindset shift number 4 for long-term weight loss results is that you have to cultivate a growth mindset along the journey. What is a growth mindset? Okay, so basically a growth mindset is where, whenever you're running to a challenge, an obstacle, right? Instead of surrendering to that obstacle, to that challenge, you ask yourself, you get curious and ask yourself, how can I make this work for me? So for example, if you have come across a challenge during your weight loss, journey, such as, you have a lot of social engagements, lots of social events you have to attend to. And then those social events may not always have like, the perfect food for your, weight loss goals, right? Then, I know a lot of times people just kind of like, what, I'm just going to pause my weight loss journey for a little bit, because for the next whole month, I have all these weddings to attend to, baby showers and birthdays, so I'm not gonna be able to like be 100% disciplined or like stay on top of my nutrition, so I'm just gonna like stop it for a month. And you know what happens? I've had many students who did that. Most of the time, 80% of the time, they don't restart. They stop for a very long time, and some of them like did end up resuming their journey, but that was like after a few more months, not like after this few weeks or a month I'm gonna resume. Okay, no, that is because like what happens is like people always have that all or nothing mindset that I have to be like 100% or nothing. But no, in this whole journey, it's about enjoying the process, enjoying the journey, enjoying the imperfections as well, right? And for sure, there's no such a journey that's perfect, that you can do your, perfect portion of like nutrition and eating perfectly clean every single day. No, that's not possible. I want you guys to have an imperfect journey where, yes, you do have those events where you may have to eat a cake, ice cream, eat some chocolate, some pizza and things like that, right? But I'm not talking about eating that every day, but I'm talking about how do you handle those social situations where you don't have any or not many healthy choices? How can you be creative and flexible, right? So this is a big challenge. If you have, an example of a challenge where, you have social events to attend to, but, they don't necessarily have the, so-called healthy food that you need. So what do? This is where, you have to cultivate a growth mindset and, embracing this as a learning opportunity and embracing every challenge as like a growing opportunity for yourself to learn, okay, what can I do in this social situation so that I can still eat relatively more healthy, okay? And also, this is also where you can also kind of like get curious and ask yourself, how can I make it work for me? Okay, is this a time for me to, indulge a little bit in moderation? Okay, and then, without feeling guilty about it, right? So this is where, like, a lot of times many students don't know what to do in situations like this. And this is where I, have a chat with them, and I have many different like strategies and methods to cope with social situations where, you're, on your program and, you don't know what to do. It's part of my coaching, and so if you guys want to know more about how do I cope with these situations, feel free to reach out to me on my Instagram. And or if you are one of my students, then that I cover one of these topics in our coaching as well, like what to do in social situations. So basically, this is an example of how you can cultivate a growth mindset, right? And you can also, when you have a growth mindset, you're also challenging the limiting beliefs, right? So the limiting beliefs in this case would be like, I can only lose weight if I'm staying 100% on my diet. I can only lose weight if I, like committed to 100% of my workout routine and, my macros and calories. That is a limiting belief if you think about it, right? Is that the only way to achieve it? No. Okay, so the whole weight loss journey can be very flexible. It can be very fun, right? And there's like a whole variety of things you can do as well. So I don't want you guys to be restrictive, and I want all of you to really embrace every step of the journey, right? Enjoy the progress, right? Rather than like really focusing on the end result only and thinking that it's all or nothing. Okay, so get rid of that all or nothing kind of mindset and start thinking, start getting your mindset in the gear where it's always growing, always learning, okay, and always kind of challenging certain limiting beliefs, saying that you can't do this if you do that, and start asking, how can I make it work for me, right? And how can I achieve this, right? So this is where I invite everyone to come and have a chat with me, and especially if you're one of my students, if you come across any of these obstacles or challenges, let's have a conversation and let's see how can we make it work. All right, now the last mindset shift, this is the most important one. Don't go anywhere. You have to remember this. Okay, so remember that your body will lose weight when your body becomes healthy. Okay, so the key here is to really convince yourself to focus on long-term health. Okay, focus on long-term health rather than just focusing on like, I have to lose 10 pounds in these 2 months or 3 months. Okay, shift your priority focus. Okay, whatever goal you have, I mean, it's fine that if you have a number in mind that you want to achieve for your body, for your health, but also at the same time, remember, before we set that number goal, remember your main goal is for you to be healthier. Okay, not healthy now, but healthy now and going forward. Okay, so it doesn't matter what age you are. So I've said this many times before, but I know that not enough people get it, and they hear it, they think it's a theory, and then they don't really go and practice it. But really, your body sheds off weight naturally when your body becomes healthier. So get healthy first and then lose weight. Okay, and then so the whole weight loss strategy, sometimes they don't really have to be there. Like all the strategies you need is basically how you can be healthier, right? So things like, let's look at your eating habits. Let's look at your nutritional habits, right? Let's look at your eating pattern. Let's look at, your day-to-day nutrition. What exactly are you feeding your body, right? The nutrition is really the foundation. Remember, I always say that it's 80% nutrition, right? So 80% nutrition and 20% exercise, 100% mindset. Okay, that's what we're talking about here. So let's look at all these habits you have. So apart from nutrition, like, yeah, again, are you eating breakfast, right? So because if you're not eating breakfast, if you're skipping your breakfast, or if you're eating like random carb loaded, sugar loaded, caffeine loaded breakfast, that can really affect your body. That can really affect your health, and that in a way affects your body weight as well. I cannot emphasize this anymore. Right? I've made a ton of videos talking about this before, and of course, if you guys still have questions, feel free to reach out to me or just check out my videos from before. And yes, apart from that, how do you get healthier? I mean, this is a very broad question, right? So apart from looking at your nutrition habits, let's also look at your sleep patterns, right? And also look at, your stress management. Are you managing your stress at all? For a lot of people in this day and age, stress is actually one of the number one factors that actually make people gain lots of excessive weight, but then they're not really working on it. They think that I just have to join a gym, do lots of workouts and burn off my calories, then I lose weight. But that is actually not sustainable, right? It's not for the long term. You may see results short term, but then if you're not looking at your nutrition, okay, and also if you're not looking at your sleep, your rest, and your stress management, the weight will come back, okay? So which is why when I talk about weight loss, it is really a holistic thing, right? Let's look at how we can take care of your body. Let's look at how we can take care of your health holistically, from looking at all these lifestyle habits: nutrition, sleep, stress management, daily movement, right? And then we can look at the workout programs and things like that. So this is I've talked about this in my other videos. You can check them out if you haven't seen them before. This is where I want to emphasize once again, and also as part of the mindset shift, that if you can actually reprioritize where your focus is, right? Prioritizing your health first, right? You're for sure you will get a long-lasting weight loss result. I'm talking about lasting, right? Long-lasting weight loss result here. Not something that's a quick fix, not a crash diet or whatever method, some kind of fad diet or fasting that you do for a little period of time so you see some result. But if you don't change your lifestyle habits, if you don't change your nutritional habits, you will definitely see the weight bouncing back, right? So if you want to stay in a healthy shape, if you want to stay feeling fit and confident for your body all year round, and also for the long period, then you really have to focus on taking care of your health. All right, so that's all from me today, and these are the 5 mindset shifts to guarantee you a long-lasting weight loss result. And of course, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And if you still have questions about weight management, Herbalife nutrition, or anything that I talked about here, feel free to leave your question in the comment below. And of course, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'm here every Wednesday and Saturday. Okay, so lastly, if you guys are interested to work with me directly, you can find out the details in the link in the description below. And I guess I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.